Today I will explain to you as simple and as fast as possible how Archer works. Obviously, we want to skill with Archer. Yes, and we can do that 5 times back to back. But every time we skill, we will consume 2 skill points. Archer will gain a 100% skill damage bonus, which can stack up to 2 times. So this obviously means we want to skill as many times as possible in one go to make as much use of this skill damage bonus as we can. But there are ways for Archer not to be able to cast his skill back to back in the best way scenario 5 times. That's of course if you don't have enough skill points. So if you have 1 or 0 skill points, then obviously you won't be able to cast your skill back to back. And other scenario when Archer will not able to cast his skill back to back 5 times is when the wave is cleared. But basically what it comes down to, you want to have as many skill points as possible to spam your skill. So our aim is to gain skill points, so we can skill. Yes, we can gain these skill points with our teammates, with Sparkle, Hanya, whatever. But Archer himself can also regenerate skill points. And he can gain skill points when you consume charge. So then the question arises, what is this charge? How do we get it? Well, the charge is indicated right here with these swords. So this Archer has now 2 charges. So then our objective would be now gain charge. So we want to gain these charges so we can consume them and gain skill points. And how many skill points do we get when we consume it? Well, unfortunately, just 1 skill point. So he has now 2 charges. That means he can regenerate 2 skill points. So how do we consume this charge to begin with? Well, whenever Archer, his allies attack. So Archer ally attack results in charge consumed, so -1. But how do we gain these charges then? Well, that's pretty simple. You get some when you ult, when you cast your technique, and when you enter battle. When you ult, you get 2. When you cast your technique, you get 1. When you enter battle, you get 1. But of course, the main way is when you cast your ultimate, since we can do that consistently compared to casting your technique or entering battle, which is just a one-time thing. So this is basically with Archer. Gain charge, consume your charge, which you can do when you attack an enemy with Archer, his allies, which will result in Archer getting a skill point. And the nice thing is, whenever you gain skill points, when you have 4 or more skill points, then Archer will get 120% crit damage, which will just last for 1 turn though. But luckily for us, Archer can hold many skill points. We are not capped at 5 skill points max, but with Archer in the team, the skill point limit increases by 2. So now you can have 7 skill points at a time. And this is the simple flow of Archer. Gain your charges. The most consistent way is with the ult, of course. Consume those charges when an ally attacks any enemy. You get a nice skill point. If you had 4 skill points or more, Archer gets 120% crit damage. Always super nice. So now if you have gathered the most possible skill points possible, so 7 if you have only Archer in your team. Now you want to spam your skill, since you want to cast as many skills as possible. So the ideal situation would be to start Archer's turn with 7 skill points, cast his skill like 2 times with Archer, which results in Archer having 2 charges, but it is still his turn of course, in between when he is casting his skills. So now you have 2 charges, you just do 2 attacking ults with any allies, you get 2 skill points, you can sneak in 1 extra skill on top of that, and you would have done a billion damage. And regarding Archer's build, it's pretty simple luckily. I will just go for the 4-piece Brilliant Stars, since I will always play him against Quantum enemies. For 2-piece I will go for the Rutilant, because I have the best substats for that item set. And for the light cones, it's pretty simple. If you have done 200 pulls or are planning to do 200 pulls, just use his signature light cone. Else you can just use the Herta shop light cone. But for more specifics, when to use what, in what scenarios, this and that, just go to Pridewin. They have a beautiful list there of everything you need. Just do what you want, what brings you the most joy. So I thank you for paying attention and see you the next time. Bye.